Are you looking to start your own business? Are you confused for which industry to choose? Do you need hand-holding for it? So here you are. Hi, I'm Maitri Agrawal, aka Chaotic Sammy, sending you Founder 516. So hi, uh, today we have Miss Maitri Agrawal. She's an interior designer. So let's hear from her. So can you please tell a little bit about your business, where it is based, and how many years are you in this industry?
Hi, so I'm Maitri Agrawal. I'm the founder and principal designer of Studio MA, which is a Mumbai-based interior design firm, and we take up residential and commercial interior design projects pan-India. So right from designing to execution of the project, we handhold the client for their apartments, bungalows, office spaces, cafes, all of those is
Wow.
what we take up. Yes. And I've been in this industry since over 5.5 years. Yes.
Before starting your own business, have you done any job or prior industry experience?
Yes, so I worked under an interior designer after studying at Rachna Sansar for 3 years. I did my interior design degree,
Okay.
and so out there I got good experience in interior designing. We used to take up high-end residential projects, bungalows, and there I got to learn how to, deal with contractors, vendors, and also understand the industry better.
Okay.
So I worked for around 2.5 years at the firm before starting my own business.
Good. I always see on social media that interior designing look glamorous, gorgeous. So what's the reality of it?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good question because, like, most of the clients who are like on Instagram, Pinterest, they only see the end product of the space, right? They see beautiful images or, nicely designed spaces. But actually, that is just the end product. The effort and the time that we take to bring that product to bring that space into perfection is a lot of planning and coordinating with contractors, vendors,
Absolutely.
and also like dealing with many challenges on site. So this is so what we see is just the end product, but the journey to that product is very, very, you know full of
Absolutely.
ups and downs.
Is there any type of struggle, challenges you face in your starting days of the business?
Yes, absolutely. So, when I just started my business,
Yeah.
I was actually, my main struggle was to get new clients. So,
Okay.
I don't come from a family that is,
Yeah.
into architecture, interior, or construction business. So, for me to navigate new clients was the initial struggle. But like with correct networking and meeting the right people, and also gaining credibility from past clients and contractors, I began to get more work and navigate through that business development phase.
In the initial days, you thought of like quitting the business as the clients are not coming, they're not paying, and how did you overcome it?
Yes, so there are times when you feel low because business is never a straight line. There are
Yeah.
highs and lows, and I think that's part of the whole process. But I think dealing with challenges just makes you better. You get to learn much more,
Yeah.
and you get to experience new things that you wouldn't have experienced if you wouldn't have gone through those lows during the business. So, like according to me, like quitting has never. You always feel like maybe like I could do something else, but I think quitting should never be an option because, like you'll always emerge like better and
Yeah.
bigger.
Absolutely. What was a major breakthrough or turning point in your business?
So while I was working under an interior designer, while I was
Yeah.
doing a job, at that point I randomly got a message from one client on LinkedIn, and he mentioned that he would like to redesign his living room space in Andheri Lokhandwala. So without thinking too much, I said yes, and then it turned like I ended up getting the project, and it turned out really nice, and the client was very happy with the work that we did. And till date, like this was around 5 years back.
Wow.
But till date, the client still, refers me and make sure that, any of his friends or family, if they're looking for an interior designer, he makes sure to refer me.
Most difficult client you ever faced in the business?
Yes, so I actually, in my initial years of starting my business, there was one client who had a 3 BHK home, and
Okay.
like it was a little difficult to deal with him because he used to, call at 12 a.m. at night, and there were no
Oh,
boundaries set. So he expected me to be on site every day, or
really?
deal with contractors like in the middle of the night, or like there was no boundary basically.
Yeah.
And he would keep changing his decision. So the thing with interior design is that once you make a decision and once the internal work starts, then if you make changes, it disrupts the entire process. So the client continuously kept making changes, which is why the project also got very delayed.
So project was done.
Yeah, the project got completed, but it got delayed
How much?
by at least 5 months.
Whoa.
Yeah. So until and unless the client is not sure about what they want, and if they maintain boundaries and give time to the interior designer to manage things, it the outcome and the timelines are met.
In the today's world, clients value human creativity more, or like social media or AI.
So actually now, because social media is so easily accessible to everyone, like Instagram, Pinterest,
Yeah.
and clients, they search because of the search engine. Also, like more reels keep coming about interiors. So clients actually are under the impression that if I show you an image, it should be replicated, but they don't understand that the site conditions and the planning plays a major role.
Yeah.
So you must depend on your interior designer for their creativity, because if you only blindly replicate a image that you've seen on Instagram, it won't turn out the way you
Yeah.
expected it to be. So after understanding the electricals, the civil work, all those things, once you take that into account, only then you can take inspiration from that image, but not fully replicate it without thinking about the other aspects.
Yeah, you should think first before
Yeah.
do it.
Yes.
What's the one thing like people misunderstand about the interior design business?
Yes, so one thing people believe that we do is that only select fabrics and colors and
Yeah.
the decorative parts of the space. However, that is just the final stage that goes on in interior design. We start right from planning the space. We make
Yeah.
electrical, plumbing, HVAC layouts, and then after those layouts are frozen, we coordinate with the contractors for the execution.
Okay.
So the execution is a different ball game altogether, because that involves site visits, procuring raw material, making sure all the details are done properly on site. And once that is like around 60% of the work, then after that comes the selection part, the material finishing, all of those aspects come in later. But we have to deal with many challenges on site, because no matter how prepared you are, every site brings a new set of challenges.
Okay.
So we come with this you know uh, mindset to problem solve rather than running away from the issue.
Okay. Anything would you like to share about your success story till now?
Yes, so basically, after I completed my job under an interior designer, um, I got a project for a 6 BHK in Lokhandwala, which was referred to by my first ever client who I
Yeah.
mentioned before. So that was like almost like a stage wherein people felt confident to hire me for their
Yeah.
spaces, and that slowly snowballed into more work and bigger work. So we've completed over 25 projects pan India
Within a year.
within 3.5 years.
Wow.
And we've done bungalows in Goa. We recently completed a row house in Jaipur, and we take up only designing projects as well from different parts of the country. And other than that, we have multiple sites in Mumbai wherein we do like apartments and office spaces. So that is something that we are currently working on.
What are your future plans and dream project for this uh, business?
So my future plans would definitely be to scale my business and have a large team of interior designers wherein we can work on much bigger and better projects. And also my goal would be to um, work on multi-story projects in South Bombay, like 10,000 plus square foot area.
Okay.
So duplex flats and multi-story flats is something I'm looking forward to working on.
Okay. So we are doing a rapid fire. So give your views upon it. So traditional or modern infrastructure?
So, like modern, of course, but like with a mix of tradition is always nice, depending on the client.
Human creativity or AI?
Definitely human creativity.
Okay. Too much involved or give you freedom?
Yeah, clients who give us our freedom, because if they're too involved, then things can go wrong.
Like the previous one.
Yes.
Good. One trend you do not like in the interior industry?
Yeah, so one trend that I completely dislike would be those heavily designed ceilings, false ceilings, wherein they make a butterfly shape or paint it pink or blue.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that I dislike in
Okay.
certain spaces.
One word you will give your like whole business of interior design, what it could be?
So I would say it's driven on passion and um, ambition. So yeah, that's what keeps me going during the entire journey.
Would you personally handle somebody who would like to go in the same space or industry you are in? So you would do?
Yes, so I would be very happy to help any aspiring interior designer or anyone who wants to get into this industry. And it would be great to help aspiring newcomers.
So thank you, ma'am, for giving your time here with me and sharing your insights uh, with me.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed.